What's up, good people? It's your boy. Welcome to the Bro Code Show. It's your boy, Bro Troy, a.k.a. Mr. Y4C, but better known as Coach TJ. Now, this show is sponsored by Papa Murphy's Take and Bake Pizza. Make sure to visit your local Papa Murphy's Pizza retail store near you and load up on fresh, made-to-order, gluten-free take and bake pizzas, desserts, and salads. Now, use the mobile app for faster service and to earn additional savings. Now, for those that are new to the Bro Code Show, the Bro Code Show is a live talk show created to discuss, uncover, justify, and dismantle the issues that concern us most as brothers, as family, and as a community. And we like to give that to you raw, uncut, and real respectful. Now, our greatest desire is to embrace everyone in positive, popular conversation. So no, we're not in the business of bashing or belittling anyone, but we do believe in being comfortable with having uncomfortable conversations. Why? Because that's where understanding starts. So as Grandma would say, let's chew the meat and spit out the bone. Now, please, right now, like and share this post. Go right now. Not now, fellas, but when? Right now. Like and share this post. Let your mamas know that the bros are in the building. Bald head greatness is here. If you already have it, please go to YM4C TV. That's our YouTube page. Like and share that now. Subscribe so when we have these conversations, you'll be in the know. Also, go to our Instagram page at @BroCodeShow. Like that as well. Help us build that following and keep up with all of those courageous conversations. So, fellas, I'm wondering, man, like, when we did this about a week ago, you guys were MIA, and I missed y'all. I really did. Got a chance to chop it up with the mayor. So how you feeling, man? How does this feel, man? Let's take this in just for a moment.
This feels good, man. This feels good. I got to get my card so I can do my little fling. But this feels good, man. I'm looking forward to doing many more of these.
Indeed, brother, indeed. How about yourself, bro, Kurt?
Hey, this is different, man. Don't get me wrong, I was mad. I was in Mexico, and I'm watching you. I'm like, man, I want to be in the room.
Yeah,
This is different from virtual, man.
Yeah,
this,
man.
This is.
I don't know how mad he was. I kept saying all this live. I'm in the ocean.
Right.
You know?
Can you hear
I'm
it?
in the room.
But it's different. You're right, man. The vibe is different, and just being able to break out that box. Yeah, really feels good, man. I know we had some special events or some current events we wanted to talk about. What were your thoughts, man? What's been on your mind, bro Smith?
Well, my Giants have been on my mind. It's no secret. I am still a devout New York Giants football fan. But we're going through our challenges. I had to have a candid conversation with my man here about his Cowboys. I'll use the correct name. They're doing pretty well. They look scary. They look dangerous. And they didn't just beat us.
Oh, yeah.
They took out all of our best players in one game. And now we're struggling. So I guess they were just getting us back for that Dak Prescott injury.
That's right.
Last year. So we're going to take out Danny Jones, your best receiver, your second best receiver, and your best offensive lineman, and see how you guys do for the rest of the season. So I'm a little upset by that.
I see that. I hear it in your voice, player. The bro is a little tight about that.
Yeah.
So,
I may have seen the Giants only win this season in person when I went to New Orleans.
You know what's so funny? That Sunday we were at a football game with the Mentor Moments program that we do at AHOP, or ACLA, AHOP Christian Leadership Academy. Shout out to Coach Fields. At AHOP, man, we got a chance to see those Warriors go to play. We do Mentor Moments there and have done that for the last 5 months. And really all of the things that we pour into these kids, and now to watch them as a team, play the sport that we love, that we get passionate about, right? Even if we're not there. The reason I brought that up about you, Bro Smith, is I remember at the game, you said, man, this is the outfit I had on when my team got their only win. I'm superstitious. I was like, wow, okay, you real about this thing, okay.
Well, I can let it go, because that obviously did not help. I got to find something different.
But NC State's ranked number 18.
That's true.
He died hard with NC State.
He said, hey, if one don't win,
I'm about to change the tag on my license plate.
That's a good idea. You should have it just like,
until the Giants get at least 2 more wins, I'm going to tone it down
a tad
bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Go Pack. What about yourself? What's been on your mind, brother?
Man, listen, I'm excited about this. We were talking earlier about the vision. How many shows? 60?
Man, we about 60 in virtually. And if you add in a couple that we've done in person, 2 actually being here.
Right.
It's being the 3rd.
Right.
Yeah.
But being in the division and it coming like this, man, it's exciting.
It is, man. It's encouraging. and many hands make light work, man. So the best is yet to come, brother. The best is definitely yet to come. Well, you know, speaking of this conversation, and speaking of who we have the opportunity to be our guest today, we have a very special young man, right? This young man is known to many as an executive chef, but he told us today, just Danny. Yeah, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I welcome to the stage Executive Chef of Second Empire Restaurant Tavern, Chef Daniel Schurr. Chef, we just wanted to keep it warm for you, sir.
Right.
Good to have you, man. How you feeling today?
I'm feeling great.
I see you got the coat on, you got your pen ready.
Yeah.
You in there? Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Well, Chef, this is about the part we always ask this infamous question.
Yeah.
We say, who are you at the core?
Right. Wow. It's deep.
Uh-oh.
That's a long one. Who am I at the core?
Yeah.
Wow. That was one of the questions that
Yeah.
you pre-gamed me on.
We got
Yeah. Well, I think that, wow. It's deep. I've never been asked that, Roy.
That's why we're here. It's called the Broco,
That's a
baby.
surprise question. Yeah, it's good. Who am I at the core? Well, I think I'm a fair person. You know, I like to be fair. That's the way I was raised. I'm a hardworking person.
Yeah.
Yep. Passionate. Yeah, motivated. Self-motivated. You know, I don't need much to get me motivated. But I like to challenge myself.
Yeah.
At the core, I love people. I love to help people. I care about people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe that's a fault of mine, but yeah, I think that I'm a family guy.
Yeah.
Committed. I've been here for 26 years. You know.
Sure.
Yeah. It's a good question.
I got you on that one. Hey, man, welcome to the Broco, baby. So let's chew the meat and spit out the bone, bro. Bro,
Maybe we
Smith,
can
what you
find out
got?
who I am after this.
And we're gonna dig more into that, especially that dedication part.
Yeah.
You know, and loyalty, man, passion,
Yeah.
right?
It's huge.
Yeah. What you got, sir?
Well, I am excited to be here. It's a pleasure getting to chit-chat with you more personally. We've had a chance to interact back and forth on occasion, but I wanted to talk a little bit about the restaurant. And I'll use some of my notes so I don't forget stuff, but open and correct me where I go wrong. September 9th, 1997.
Yeah.
It's owned and operated by a team comprised of Kim Reynolds, the owner, general manager, yourself, executive chef, Daniel Schurr, the executive chef, known throughout, as well as general manager Ashley Dyson.
Yes.
Now, the cool parts about this restaurant is the structure largely remains intact.
Yeah.
Still has its original exterior, the same heart pine flooring. You walk through the walls and you can't help but see all the awards.
Yeah.
It looks as if you've won every 4 Diamond Awards since it started, all the Dorona Awards since 2006. I feel sorry for the people coming in second year after year after year because of you.
Yeah.
But it's a tremendous dining experience. It feels as if you can't but help but notice the history, seeing all the testimonials from people far and wide about their love of the restaurant and how you all made them feel. It's pretty cool to see. And so I have a question that I want to turn to you first. This is going to be probably the most difficult question you'll get all night.
Oh, the first one was pretty good.
Right? You know, are you an ice cream in a cup or a cone type of guy?
Oh, man.
Well, I was a cone guy, but now I'm a cup guy because I'm gluten free.
Right? Gluten-free ice cream. How is that? I don't know if
Well,
I like gluten.
I can't have the cone anymore because of the
cake,
flour.
yeah.
I see. I
So,
see.
Yeah, but always a cone guy, original.
Well, if you- what's your favorite flavor?
Toffee caramel, salted caramel.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's good in taffy too.
Yeah. My flavor. And then chocolate.
Okay.
I'm pretty basic when it comes to
I gotta ask, sir, if you don't mind. Yeah. So the salted caramel toffee, right? Is did it start? How did that start? Like that? You know, like
Heath bar.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love Heath bars.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never had that flavor, but I'm gonna try it next.
Got me intrigued. Yeah.
Actually, we have it here at the restaurant.
Soon to come.
Yeah.
When the line stops. Next time you see it, it's going to be eating on ice cream, man. I promise you.
That's what the question was about.
There you go, man.
And second question, I don't know if I.
Yeah, absolutely. Feel free, man.
It's just the logo and everything. So, what would you say is a secret passion of yours, and what would you be doing right now if you weren't in the kitchen?
Well, I don't know if it's like I don't have secrets. So
Yeah.
I have a passion of mine is mountain biking. So I'm a big cyclist. I love to get out in the woods and ride my bike and be alone and have time to be by myself.
Yeah.
And after doing this for so many years and 5 days a week of people, it's nice to escape. Yeah. So that's it. And what I would be doing now if I wasn't doing this is another good question, because I have such passion and found my niche in life. It's hard to really think about doing something else.
Sure.
And I've pondered it and I've never been able to come up with. I love what I do, so it's not the answer, but it's what I feel.
One of the past conversations we had was all about finding your purpose and living in your purpose, and so when
Yeah. So it's hard to, when that question is posed to me, I don't think I would be doing anything else. This job gives me a lot of different avenues to help people, which I like to do, and provide jobs for people. And I deal with a lot of mid-20-year-olds, and they all have those kind of crazy issues going on. So
As we all do.
it's nice to be able to mentor people as well, and so I enjoy doing that and taking time to listen to their issues and problems, and being an ear. They can bend my ear and talk, and maybe I can help somebody.
Nice.
Yeah.
If you're just checking into the Bro Code Show, we're chopping it up with executive chef at Second Empire Restaurant and Tavern, Chef Daniel Schurr. What you got, Bro Kurt?
So earlier you mentioned work ethic, working hard. I can imagine that an executive chef running a place like this, you're working a lot of hours.
Yes.
When do you find time, as you mentioned with cycling and getting
Yeah,
away,
yeah.
but other than like serious travel experience, when do you find time to do that? And how has that shaped some of you coming back and doing what you do here?
Yeah. Well, for the first several years, I didn't do those things. There wasn't time to travel, and I had 2 young kids, and had my wife. That was difficult situation to be opening up the restaurant and having a wife and having 2 kids and juggling, and I wasn't the best at that, but we worked it out. But traveling came later, so I realized that I needed to get away and do things as a family, and so my wife's mother lives in Maine, so we were going up there for every year for like the last 20 years, and that's one of my weeks that I take off, and then another week that I take off, we kind of go to the beach or just go to the mountains, something simple like that. But yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, everyone in Facebook land, I want to say thank you for checking into the Bro Code Show. This is your sneak peek. For those that are in Facebook world, please go to YM4C TV, log into our YouTube page at YM4C TV, like and subscribe, so when we do put this full episode out, you'll be the first to know. It's your boy, Bro Troy, a.k.a. Mr. YM4C, better known as Coach TJ, and we are the Bro Code. This show is sponsored by Papa Murphy's Take and Bake Pizza. Make sure to visit your local Papa Murphy's Pizza retail store near you and load up on fresh, made-to-order, gluten-free take and bake pizzas, desserts, and salads. Now make sure to use that mobile app for faster and to earn additional savings. What's going on? It's your boy, Bro Troy, a.k.a. Mr. YM4C, and you are back with the Bro Code Show, and we're chopping it up with executive chef of Second Empire Restaurant and Tavern, Chef Daniel Schurr. What's going on, Bro Kurt? What you got, man?
So, Chef, you have been featured, or Second Empire has been featured in many different articles. I read one in 2019 that went back to your age of 7, where you asked your father about how a vacuum works, and he answered like light switches. So that question was curious for me because it talks to your imagination. How much does imagination play into being a chef and preparing meals and changing the meals and those kinds of things?
Yeah. So, I have a saying, taste with your eyes.
Yeah.
So, when I'm thinking of a dish, when I ride my bike, I'm thinking of a dish and thinking how, the textures and flavors and, is it going to be crunchy or smooth, how that's going to work in your mouth. That's one aspect of it. But then I'm thinking of how it's going to look on the plate. And the presentation is a big part of it, because when things get set down in front of you, you look at it first, and you may smell the aroma as it comes by, so you kind of taste with your eyes first. I mean, you look at it and you're like, wow, that looks really great. Well, I always hope it tastes as good as it looks, So that's one of our challenges. And but imagination is huge. Visualizing something in your mind before it happens is big with me, and making sure that all the cooks in the kitchen can produce it. I can think of the best dish in the world, but if it's on a Saturday night and we're doing 250 people, and if I can't put it together quick enough to get it to you, it's not going to make sense. Yeah. So it has to make sense in a whole different bunch of angles, But imagination is big. Yeah, thinking of the colors and textures and things like that. Yeah.
Great question. Great question. What you got, Bruce? Did you have a follow-up? What you got?
I do.
Yeah.
In that same article, it talked about your family and how much of your family was centered around food.
Yeah.
Did that have anything to do with where we're sitting today?
Yeah. I didn't know it then, but my grandparents were big eaters, and they were country folk, so they would kill a hog every November and dress it, and they have a garden. And I always I didn't have anything to do with that. I wanted to go out and do stuff, but they always convinced me, like, no, you need to go do that, be there on the killing of a hog and help dress it, but I never put it together. And then if I was working in the garden or shelling peas or shucking corn, it was because I was grounded. Seriously.
Yeah.
So I never really had that kind of appreciation. I love to eat. I love to eat grandma's food. Awesome.
Yeah.
But never. Now later on in life, fast forward, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because there are times when I fall back on it and think about those things that I did, and I was doing that stuff, but never did I think I would be a chef. Yeah.
Well, you talked a little bit about just the taste and the sight element of the food. What would you say is one of the more unique dishes that you've prepared, and who might you have made that?
Yeah. When I was a younger cook, and I was training at the Four Seasons Hotel in Philadelphia, and that was a great kitchen to work in, and I was learning, and it may not have been the most unique dish, but Pavarotti was staying in the hotel, and I was working the line that evening, and he requested 2 roasted chickens. And I was like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Because there's a me to roast chickens and do it the right way and do it the French way and baste it with butter and make it all just beautiful, moist. And plus I was doing it for Pavarotti, and he would walk through the kitchen. He had bodyguards that would like carry him so he wouldn't fall. And I just remember that, like, that was huge.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm cooking for that guy.
Yeah.
He's eating my food.
Yeah.
So that it was a unique experience with the food. And doing something simple, and the chef that I worked for was always about, you've got to cook this simple food really well before you can cook the most intricate food. So that's what makes me feel like that when you ask me that question.
Yeah. And I'm killing myself because it's almost like going into a grocery store hungry. I'm coming into a restaurant hungry, talking about delicious food,
Ice cream,
ice cream, and
Well, something like a chicken, cooks take that for granted, or making mashed potatoes, or making something simple like that. Cooks are like, oh, or calamari. I have the best calamari in town. I'll put mine up against anybody's. But it's the simple way to do it that makes the difference, and you do it the same way every time. So,
Good stuff. We talk about being unique. We talked about purpose. I love how in the early stages until now, you've identified your purpose, and you said boldly. Now, I don't know if there was anything else that I don't even want to be doing.
Yeah, I mean, there's life experiences. You know, I went to college for a couple of years, and I was lost. I mean, I don't, these kind of conversations, I don't talk to about many people. You guys are the first. But I'm dyslexic, so I had dyslexia in high school, and I mean, I always have it, so it doesn't leave you. I didn't do well in high school, very, very challenged. Was told you weren't gonna do much. Yeah. So that was challenging enough. But then I tried Greensboro College. That's where I grew up. And after like 3 years, they're like, "Hey man, when are you gonna take math and science?" I checked out because it was too much. Back in the day, dyslexia was kind of unheard of, kind of new thing in life. So struggled. Had a conversation with my father, and he said, "Hey man, you better find something because life is out there." So gravitated towards cooking. And got up with a really good chef, and he mentored me for like a year, and then he sent me over to another chef, and it was kind of on. I mean, it was working with your hands, your eyes, and everything that God gave you. I was good at.
Is there anything that you would have told your 18-year-old self if you could travel back in time? What would be one of those things that you'd tell yourself?
I think kind of like just what I did. Never give up. Just keep rolling. Just keep. I had good parents. My mother was a big influence in my life, and she kept pushing. And that's what kind of got me through those kind of times like that, where I was sitting in my dorm room going like, "What am I gonna do?" But I think we've all kind of had those moments, but that was mine, and. Just kind of being scared. You better do something. So
I definitely want to piggyback off that, but we want to take a real quick commercial break and pay the bills, right? So we'll be right back. We're talking with Executive Chef Daniel Schurr here at Second Empire Restaurant and Tavern, and we are the Bro Code. We'll be right back. This show is sponsored by Papa Murphy's Take and Bake Pizza. Make sure to visit your local Papa Murphy's Pizza retail store near you and load up on fresh, made-to-order, gluten-free take and bake pizzas, desserts, and salads. Now make sure to use that mobile app for faster and to earn additional savings. You're checking in into the Bro Code Show. We're chopping it up with Executive Chef Daniel Schurr right here at Second Empire Restaurant and Tavern. Chef, we talked about a lot, man. We've talked about purpose. We've talked about our why. We've talked a little bit more about your passion in mountain biking, right? Even touched on a little bit of work-life balance and how we get those vacations and those things that make us who we are and bring joy to our lives, especially as it pertains to family. But before the break, you hit on something as it pertains to the relationship with your father. You even hit on a space that the bros always share about being somewhat in a stage of life, maybe even a dark place. But I'm curious, Chef, has there ever been a stage in your life that you felt purposeless? So much so to a space where, talk to us about how did you get to that place? And more so, how did you overcome it?
Yeah. Well, so my father left my sister and I when I was very young. Yeah. And so I guess my mother was without a significant other for 4 or 5 years, and then she met someone who's my dad now, and took on the responsibility. And now that I'm older, I look at what he did. I'm like, wow, he adopted us and gave us his name change, and I look back on it, just reflecting on it from like last night with knowing that I was going to do this interview, thinking about what a big deal that was. Yeah. And he was able to expose my sister and I to a lot of different things, and I think that's how I landed here. He loved to eat and travel and
Yeah.
do things and stuff like that. But always instilled in both of us, hard work
Yeah.
and having a purpose, and even through my dyslexia and things like that, I just never thought about giving up.
Mm.
And I had plenty of teachers, believe it or not, tell me that you weren't going to amount to much, man.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to happen for you. And low grade point average, and I walked out of my SATs. That's when the SATs were first happening back in
Yeah.
'82.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I don't even know why I'm taking these. Got up and left. And so I was struggling as what I was going to do, what I was going to be. Went to college for a couple of years, like I was saying. And, he's really the one that pulled me out of it. We had a meeting for lunch one day, and he was like, you got to find something. You got to find something you like to do and be good at it.
Yeah.
And that's just always stuck with my mind. And I think it kind of took me there. So that was kind of like my dark place, or kind of feeling, purposeless. Like, what am I going to do? I'm
Right.
22 years old.
Mhm.
Yeah. And so I started my path, and I just decided to stay on that path
Mm.
and just stick to it. To find something I was good at it. I mean, I could tell I was good at it. My hands and my eyes, and just the way I moved in the kitchen, and even the first chef that I worked for, the real chef that I worked for, he was like, hey man, he's like, I've been there like a year, and he's like, you can't take everybody's job here.
Yeah.
But I know a guy
Yeah.
that I'd like to send you to
Yeah.
and work with him.
Mm.
I was like, I didn't even, what are you talking about?
Mm.
He's like, go check out this guy. And his name was Nick, and he's an Italian chef. I ended up living with him and his two kids, and just cooking, just
Wow.
cooking and being inspired. And he was like, hey man, you really ought to think about going to school. And I was like, oh, no, school, no way, I can't do it. He's like, no, I think you really ought to. You're really good at what you do. So I enrolled at the Culinary Institute of America in Hyde Park, New York.
Okay.
And it was different for me. I was a little bit older, and I found my passion. So I went up there and kicked butt, and found tutors and people to help me, through the tough courses and things like that, and felt good.
Yeah.
And kind of the rest is history. I found my passion, so I just barreled into it. I haven't really stopped since.
Yeah.
And I think when you ask me about vacations and stuff like that, I've really been working. It's, yeah. So.
Well, I have somewhat of a two-part question.
Sure.
I would assume you have some sort of downtime.
Yeah.
And
now I do as I've gotten older. Yeah.
I don't know if you're a big TV buff, but I'm imagining you possibly watching chef-type shows like Gordon Ramsay, Hell's Kitchen. Do you ever watch those? No.
No.
Wow.
Yeah, I had a football player in the place for the Saints. A couple right before training camp, and we were talking about that, and he's like, I don't watch football.
Yep.
He's like, I can't stand it. It's like, football is what I do, and I'm gonna watch cooking shows.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
So it's kind of like that. It's no, I will watch diners, drive-in, and
I like
dives.
that. Got
Okay.
it. Yeah, I can get that.
That's entertainment.
It's entertainment,
Yeah.
and it's just normal stuff, easy. It's nothing complicated or anything like that. It's fun to watch. Yeah, it's kind of entertaining, but I don't really watch any of the cooking shows. And
Well, elaborate for me just the community of chefs. I would have, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'd imagine that you all have some sort of fraternity of sorts. You know of each other, you communicate. Are there other chefs that you're like, you know what, aside from me, these are the people to know and the places to go in terms of eating?
Yeah. Good question. Not really. I'm kind of a loner guy.
Yeah, no
And,
yeah.
I just like to keep to myself. And chefs are an interesting kind of.
I like that word. We use that word a lot.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
What does it mean?
Interesting.
Yeah,
that's great.
Interesting folks, and I guess we're out in the outside world. We're kind of competitive, in a sense, and I don't really feel that. I've been around a lot of the chefs and worked with them and done special events and done all those things, and just never really fell into, kind of that thing, because I just wanted to keep to myself, and focus on, what I do, stay focused, and, that kind of thing. Sometimes I kind of want to branch out, but I'm just not that person. It's kind of oddball, I guess.
I think knowing who you are.
That's it.
Yeah.
Right, and owning that.
Yeah, and it's like the time that I spend kind of trying to fit in or something like that is time that I'm not spending with my family or, doing something for myself, because I do spend such an amount of time here. So.
You mentioned earlier, and I don't want to breeze by this, I want to go back just for a
Sure.
second, about family and how important it was when the man stepped in and became your father.
Yeah.
And this is more for people who are watching, but not really a question, more of a statement that I think a lot of people struggle with their family structure and what it looks like.
Yeah.
And I just want to say to anybody watching, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
Some of us come from different scenarios, and everybody's family is different. Embrace it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
I mean, I recently, I've been so fortunate to have good family, good parents, mother, father. I always call him my father, even though he's not my blood.
That's who he
But
is.
He's
Stepped up to
been
the plate.
there through everything.
Yeah.
And so he's my father. But I guess in the last couple of years, just really appreciating, he's now 87, my mom's 81, just appreciating and thinking back on everything that they did to, for me and my sister,
Yeah.
and thanking them to the universe that they were around, because, and with that said, it's like an obligation to help people that don't have that, and be there for them to listen to their issues or what's going on, because not everybody has a good family, situation.
And so you said something about exposure earlier. The Bro Code was pretty much launched on mentorship, right? And everything we do is about mentorship.
Yeah.
But the restaurant, you deal with a lot of people who
Yeah.
come from different backgrounds.
Right.
How important is it, when you talked about it earlier, into mentorship in your kitchen? And how does that?
It's
yeah.
huge, yeah.
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter what position they have here, I'm kind of the old guard here. I mean, I've been here from the beginning, so, if I see that somebody's having a tough day, or, it's not like everybody's gonna come to me and say, "Shit, I'm having a tough day." You kind of gotta weed it out, and you can see that somebody's coming in, struggling or something like that. I always ask them, "How's it going? What's going on? Let's talk." I can tell something's going on. At first, they don't want to, but then I don't leave it alone. And they always feel better after they talk. I mean, everybody does.
Yeah.
So it kind of gives them an opportunity to get it out, and talk about it.
Yeah.
If there's anything I can do to help, and let me know, So I think it's huge. It's huge.
Having that soundboard, right?
Yeah.
And really, the big word that we always talk about, which is a skill, of listening.
Yeah, absolutely. Being able to listen to other people's stuff, and maybe not giving all your advice to them, but just being able to listen and, let them talk it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if they ask me for advice, hey, okay, this is what maybe I would do. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying you ought to think about it.
And one of my favorite ones is, have you considered?
Have you considered
Or
doing
may I
this?
suggest?
Yes, may I suggest?
Yeah.
It's huge.
So, if
Yeah.
you're just checking into the Bro Code Show, we're chopping up with executive chef Daniel Schurr here at Second Empire Restaurant and Tavern. We've talked about a lot, Chef, but we want to shift gears here. Before we took the break, that last question was talking about team effort and mentorship and how important that is. We have a picture segment, sir.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
we're going to have some fun. So we did a little bit of research,
All right.
okay? And you shared these pictures on the Second Empire Instagram page, so the world has already seen these.
Yeah.
But I would love to bring these pictures up on the screen and really get your genuine reaction of why you shared those pictures.
Okay.
Why was it important to you? So we'll start off with the first picture.
All
You
right.
let me know, why was that important to you? Talk to us.
Well, the first picture is a dinner that I was doing for the Chaîne de Rôtissière, which is the oldest food society club in the world.
Wow.
So the local chapter here in Wake County, we were doing a special dinner. This particular dinner was back in April, and it was the first time that they had come out after COVID. So the first time we didn't have to have masks on. So I mean, everybody was just having a great old time. And so that was that dinner. And that young man is Oliver, and he's one of our back waiters who's now struggling, unfortunately. And so we're trying to be there for him right now. And when I saw that picture and you told me what that was all about, you know, I was like, yeah, I was kind of hoping he's going to be okay. Yeah. So it kind of brings back memory. But that was a happy time doing that dinner, and that was something that we closed the restaurant down. Well, we're closed on Sundays, so that's when we did it. But it's a big event, you know, and the cooks and the wait staff are all excited about it, and so it's a 5-course dinner that we do, and you know, it's not on the menu, so it's totally something different. So it's exciting. And then
well, so it speaks to that creativity. Like we talked about that earlier.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds like this event right here is all creative. Again.
Oh yeah, they give me carte blanche. Wow. So they just say just do something.
Really?
Yeah. So we get to play around, and then it's paired with wine, so everybody's having a good time, and so then you go out there and you get the staff gets involved too, so they get recognized as well. So that's nice, because the kitchen is the engine room. You don't always know the guys that are like churning it out. So the wait staff gets all the glory most of the time, but the engine rooms, they're the ones that make it happen.
Yeah.
So they get to come out and take a bow, and I get to introduce them. So it's a big deal for them, because they don't always get recognized that.
That's right. That's right. I love it. What do you think about? I've got another picture for you too. Tell me what your thoughts on this second picture.
Well, this is a niçoise salad, and this is off the new menu for the fall. And whenever I think about this salad here, this was one of my when I was an extern. I did an externship from the culinary. You have to go to another restaurant and work. And so I had gone to this restaurant in Philadelphia, which I ended up working at. And one of my first days of training, and the waiter walks up to me and he's like, I'm looking for my niçoise salad. And I was like, what the heck? And I asked the guy over here, and I was like, man, what's the niçoise salad? And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, I don't know what they're talking about. He's like, oh my God, dude. And this was a young French chef at the time, and he could see me scrambling over there. And he's like, a bunch of French words, and so it was just like one of my first experiences at like, what the heck am I doing? I didn't have any of the prep or anything.
That's great.
Yeah, it was. So I've never forgotten what a niçoise salad is. Yeah. So when I put this on the menu, I always remember that day that. Yeah. I was quite surprised.
Sounds like one of the moments that built you, right?
Yes, it was.
One of the phrases or quotes that comes to mind when I think of something like that is something that I share with the kids all the time. And it's adversity is an opportunity for a focused man to show greatness. And really how adversity builds, fine-tunes, refines us. And gives us that thick skin like a rhino, right? So. Absolutely. I love that story.
This was and I had cooked before. I cooked like 3 years before I went to the culinary, and then I went to this. When I got to this kitchen, this restaurant, my first day, it was like I was in a different world. It was like, whoa! I have found what I've been looking for, and I thrived. It was just. But that was one of my first days there, and so niçoise salad, I'm always like. That day.
Like Daniel's son,
that guy lit me up, man. He lit me up big time.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. You don't read my menu. You don't ask questions.
Did you say closed on Sunday?
Closed on Sundays.
Wow.
Yeah. Closed on Sundays.
I don't want to zoom by that.
Yeah, closed on Sundays and Mondays.
Isn't Sunday probably the most profitable day?
No.
For food?
No. Brunch is not profitable.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
It's good to know.
So we've always been closed on Sundays, and then after the stock market in 2008, we decided to close on Mondays. It just it took that 9/11 and the 2008 stock market like wreaked havoc on everything.
I love that for your staff and
It's-
balance and
Yep.
getting the time to
And
spend
that's
with
what
their
I've
families.
always,
man. I
that's what
love
I've
that.
always stressed, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And I've always stressed for my cooks is like, don't sleep until 1 o'clock and then come in here to work. Get up at 7 and go find something to do.
Yeah.
Don't just make it all about work. You know,
Yeah.
get something else going in your life. So,
Yeah.
for sure.
That last one, tell us about that last picture,
Yeah,
sir.
so
What are your thoughts on that?
it's a two-part picture, and you can see the young man. He's in his bow tie. So this young man came to a chef's table. I do a chef's table in the kitchen, do a 5-course dinner paired with wine. And so he approached me that evening with his parents and said, you know, I really love cooking. Could I cook in your kitchen when I get old enough? Fast forward, so you can see him there. That's Carson. So when he was a senior out in Fuquay, he it was right after we opened up from COVID.
Okay.
And I get a phone call, and he's like, I'd love to come work in the kitchen. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening. And yeah, he's been working. So he worked for a little while, it was his senior year, went back, you know, it was a little much for him. So I was like, you know, why don't you go take care of having fun at your senior year in high school and not stress about coming to work.
Yeah.
He's like, you do that for me? I was like, yeah. He's like, absolutely. I was like, you're a stress ball right now. Go have fun your senior year, and you know, he's in the band, and you know. So he graduated, and he's back.
Wow.
So he came back, and he works full time now, and he feels like this is something that he would want to do, and he's really good at it. He's got great leadership qualities. He's really good with taste and food in his hands, and he has, you know, it kind of reminds me of me, and he's kind of found a passion. So now it's kind of like, yeah, hopefully he'll go to school and you know, do something with it. But yeah.
What other qualities do you look for in your staff here? You spout out a few things.
Yeah.
What are you looking for? What's an ideal employee or chef?
So are you going to be at work? Be on time? Some of the basic qualities there, you know, good attitude, no drama. You know, I mean, I run a pretty tight ship, and you know what we do here is really important. The customer experience. I mean, you know, they're paying almost $100 a person, and so you can't really mess it up. So, you know, those kind of basic qualities, and you don't need experience. You just need to have that kind of personal drive, and you want to be here. You want to come to work, you know, and the rest will take care of itself. I mean, I really feel like most of my kitchen has never had an experience, and they've all been here for 4 or 5 years. So they're gathering experience, and hopefully they'll take off from here and go do something on their own.
Yeah.
Would make me feel good.
Do you feel like, because over this conversation you said it several times, that someone saw something in you and gave you the power of the cosign? Saying, hey, I want to introduce you to someone else.
Yeah.
Do you think that path and being introduced to different people along your way has really gotten you?
Absolutely. If it wasn't for the first 2 people, those first 2 mentors, I really feel like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I always remember Mitchell Mack and Nick Kluwer.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 guys that got me. And I've always said, you know, like, I'm going to do what they did.
Yeah.
You know, mentor me and, you know, show me the way. And I mean, I had to put my work into it, but they were there for me.
Are they still around?
The one guy, the Mitchell Mack is, but Nick Kluwer passed away. Yeah, a couple years ago. Yeah, he had cancer. But I've never forgotten those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, they're always in my mind. And then when I went to work at the Four Seasons Hotel, you know, I had really good chefs that I worked for there. Jean-Marie Lacroix, he was the top guy, and then the chef de cuisine, Marty Hammond. They were just, you know, I wanted to be them.
Fellas, you heard it. We need to be with Marty. We need Chef right here. We want to talk to all of the high-level chefs, man. Thank you for that, sir. If you're just checking into the Bro Code Show, we're chopping it up with executive chef Daniel Schurr at Second Empire Restaurant and Tavern. We've talked about it a lot. We're going to change gears just a little bit. Bro Smith's going to bring us into our next segment here called Flip the Script.
Yeah, and so obviously we've been asking you a lot of questions, which we're thankful that you gave us the time and opportunity to do so. But this is the time where we turn the tables to you. What would you like to know about any of us or all of us? What's a question? And it doesn't have to be anything that we've talked about today. But what's something that's been burning that you've been wanting to ask?
Oh, wow. Well, I've always been intrigued since I met Troy, and I've always, from the first meeting where we were in Kim's office and talking and stuff, I always felt comfortable, and trusting. And so where did that come from? I mean, how do you do that?
That's interesting. So my grandmother was one that never met a stranger. She instilled that in me. She was the grandma that had peppermint and butterscotch for everybody. And I saw that as a child. My grandfather was an executive at Kmart, and we called him the mayor. So he ran everything. And his brashness married with his people skills, where he got his point across, but he was a kind heart.
Yeah.
You knew that, he meant what he said, and he said what he meant. But it was always, with loving kindness have I drawn thee, and that has been instilled in me.
Yeah.
So I exemplified that of my grandparents, to be honest with you. Plus, I had some great people along the way, too, in to where I am today. Like this is chapters of life.
Right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will say in my 30s, I'm now 41, in my 30s, I had a young man by the name of Bishop Ralph Donnie Graves that really instilled a lot in me. Not just as a man, but as a man of God, and really embracing that and how that added value to my life.
Wow. Yeah. So where did y'all meet at?
I talked enough, man. Different spaces, but yeah, good.
How did you all get together?
I met this guy at my job, and I was trying to learn how to tie a bow tie at this time in life, and he used to come in trying to sell bow ties, and he
Started Bow Tie Tuesday?
Yeah, I started Bow Tie Tuesday in the office, and he taught me how to make a necktie into a bow tie. And you see his flair, his gift of gab. He's very easy to get along with, and we just kind of struck up an instant bond. And I recall one day as I'm coming into the office, he's coming out with a box of supplies, and he had this flour. I was like, oh man, what you doing with the box, man? They didn't get rid of you already. He was like, yeah, players, so that's my last thing. I was like, oh
That's
man,
great.
like I didn't know that. And so I said, well, we got to stay in touch. And later on, when I saw him wanted to get the YM4C started, I said, man, I have to be a part of that. Just off of who you are and who I can see this becoming, I need to be in that space, and let's make this work.
Right.
And that was back in 2017 when YM4C started. I met him in 2015.
Well, 17 when it started, right? Yeah.
And we've been tight ever since. And I met Kirk through Cornelius Kirk, CK.
He was Mr. Whatever It Takes.
Mr. Whatever It Takes.
He changed his name like he changed Raw.
Rebrand.
Met him through Troy, and we've been tight ever since as well.
Okay. So you guys have been together longer?
No. So
Oh.
JC was there first. I actually met Troy through social media.
Oh, okay.
And this is really important and key. I tell kids this all the time. What you post matters.
Oh, yeah.
So he had been watching me, right?
Okay.
And he just reached out and said, I love what you're doing already in the inspirational lane.
Oh, neat.
Come in. He actually had me come and speak.
Yep.
And I didn't know at the time. I thought I was just speaking. He was interviewing me and seeing the connection. And that right after that, he's like, yo, come join up.
Okay.
And we've been fast friends ever since, aligned. And so it's just that piece. But seriously, social media, very important what you put out there.
Yeah.
People are watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is that your only one? No, you guys as many as you want now. I don't want to put you on the spot, but yeah, that's how we connect. We say a fist, not a finger. It's important. The same way that you speak of the engine room.
So how do you guys handle, like, when I'm trying to help folks out, it doesn't always work. So when you guys have, the young men come and, you do the dinners, and I see those guys, and I mean, how does that make you feel if it doesn't work? I mean,
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Expectation. We show up. We're consistent.
Yeah.
It's just, we kind of move in a spirit of excellence. We talk all the time, but it doesn't mean it's going to work. I've gotten some DMs personally where kids have said, hey, because of what you guys do, I can kill myself. Right? And that was a conversation that we may have had years ago.
Right.
And so just knowing that it's not gonna always look right in the moment, but we think the seeds are being planted and it's going to work long term.
Yeah.
And so we just keep showing up.
Yeah.
And that lends to what you're doing too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll get it. I know I had my first boat ride as an adult, working with the children and the work that we did with YM4C. And I was 36, 37 years old, and I had never had that experience as a child. And I mean boat ride like a sailboat, fishing. I had never gone fishing.
Right.
And so to have that same experience for children, it's cool getting to live through their eyes, doing things that I wish I could have done, but I didn't have those mentor relationships to provide me with that experience. And so for those things that you may not see the light come on immediately, later on in life, you feel as if they'll appreciate it.
Right.
They'll say, "Oh man, that was great."
Yeah.
You know, I did go fishing with a bunch of I caught me 2 fish that they could pass along to somebody else. So that's what we hope for. Does it always happen? Probably not. But if we can inspire and provide a memorable experience for that one, I feel as if that's worth it all.
Yeah.
How many programs? Because we're not just running one program, right?
Currently, 4 currently, and getting ready to start another one in November. So what you to really, before I go to that segue to that point, Kirk brought it up. That our job is to plant seeds. We may not be the one that waters it, but my grandmother gave me the direction, not the address. So she didn't have to say Philippians 4:13. She said, "Baby, you can do all things through Christ."
Right.
She planted the seed in me. Eventually, it grew. It took a while, but what if she didn't? So that's the approach that we take with these kids. They're used to inconsistencies. They're used to people walking out of their lives. So we do different. Right? They have to see this to know that love is a good thing. Right? Love isn't to be something to be shameful of or something to be made fun of. But it's its purity in that as Y4C we share the love of Christ. That's our job. You know, it may be years down the road when they run into somebody else that waters the seed. And so that's what it's really all about. But to your point, Kurt, Chef, you're absolutely right. We've done an etiquette workshop here back in, was that April of 21?
Yeah.
Was that April? Yeah. We recently just did a table talk the end of September here with some of the leadership of Raleigh. And now here we are one more time. This is one piece of a mass puzzle. Besides that, we use exposure and opportunity for golf and really body alignment, bringing down the lens of trying new things, and exposure, understanding that you are worthy. You are enough. You can do this. We also use video game design, wanting to spark career development and potentials in us living in the Silicon Valley of the East Coast. We also use football, and starting in November, we'll be connecting with another organization to start boxing.
Oh, wow.
Don't forget about the mentor sessions.
Oh, well, outside of Y4C, as the bro code and us being a black unicorns, let's go ahead and put this into the atmosphere. So we are not just unique, we're different. We speak of this thing called ballhead greatness, but being able to take that and put it to action. We've created a program called Mentor Moments. This now aligns us with customized contract work for postgraduate schools, for after-school programs, where we would take a needs assessment, identify the needs of the group that we're serving, and then create a customized program. Currently, we're doing that with AHOP Christian Academy, ACLA, AHOP Christian Leadership Academy in Chapel Hill, Coach Fields, where we, for the last 5 months, have loved on, encouraged, and matured and nurtured with through small group activities and talking with AHOP Christian Academy, ACLA, AHOP Christian Leadership Academy in Chapel Hill, Coach Fields, where we, for the last 5 months, have loved on, encouraged, and matured and nurtured with through small group activities and talking, as well as speakers, as well as doing community service activities with UNC football, with 42 student athletes in football from all across the nation.
Wow.
So many legs to this giant. And then, of course, now we're here with the Bro Code Show, which, again, Y4C is the brain of the octopus, and each one of those programs are another leg and extension of such. Wow. That's what I say every day.
And we're just starting, right?
Just getting started, sir.
More to come.
Like, I honestly, we are just getting started, and we're talking about without a mass budget, being able to take some of the gifts and talents that you just spoke of, and that ease of spirit, to be able to align with those that share that same heart for people. You're a servant leader. You have a heart for people.
Oh, I did.
That's what we. That's what. Because when we were upstairs in Kim's office, you didn't know me from a hole in the wall. All you had was a proposal that I wrote on Canva.
Right.
and I sent it to you.
Yeah.
Because it had everything that we wanted to do to our children and aligned with you.
Yeah.
You got in front of the right person.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question, Chef, on that?
Yeah.
Because I remember that conversation. He called me right after, and he was excited, right? I was excited, and then, but there's a story of a person giving everything that they have away, right? And the man said, "I want to know. I don't want that, but I want to know what's inside of you that made you do what you did." So I have to ask you, what was it? What was it that made you open your doors to us and be so willing to have conversations? I mean, give us your restaurant and those things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Troy's passion for what he was doing was one thing. I mean, I feel like we connected. I mean, I feel like I connected with him. You know, hopefully we connected.
Absolutely.
You know, and you know, it's hard to talk about, but you know, I have guys that come in the kitchen that they come from, they're tough.
Yeah.
I mean, they come from hard knocks, and you know, trying, you know, to, I don't even know if I help.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, I take people for who they are, what they are. Nothing matters to me except for showing up for work, be on time, and that's hard for people. Some guys to do that are coming from bad situations. Yeah. You know, I mean, they may be getting out of jail, you know, and or they may have been in jail for many years.
Yeah.
And this is their opportunity to have a job.
And that's real
Yeah.
cool that you give them an opportunity.
And-
Because the world shuns.
Well,
Big time.
yes, I know that. And my wife's uncle and her and his wife, they're the Innocence Project. They're big into that. You know, they've gotten several guys out of prison and stuff like that. So having the opportunity that I have to have this business and to be in a position, it's not just about cooking, you know, or being the chef. You know, it's about trying to help people, and I don't always succeed. You know, I don't always. You know, it's kind of it hurts sometimes. You know, I get hurt. You know, or lied to or something like that. But I, like you guys, I just keep going. You know, and I just feel the need to help people. Does that make sense?
It does. It makes perfect sense when you have a heart of a servant.
You know?
If you're just chopping up with the Bro Code Show, we're here with executive chefs at Second Empire Restaurant and Tavern, Chef Daniel Schurr. Chef, we've talked about a lot, but I'm curious, man, have you enjoyed the experience?
Yes, thoroughly.
You have, right?
It's like peeling back the onion.
Yeah, absolutely. We talk about that onion analogy all the time. Do you think others
We
in
should
your...
go have lunch or something.
We do. Don't get me started. You know, I still want that ice cream. No, I'm not playing. No, I'm just saying. With that being said, do you think that others in your network could appreciate an experience like this?
I think so.
Well, this is our segment, man. As we lay into this segment called Calling Them Out, this is your opportunity, Chef. We need at least one, maybe two, who in your network circle. I know you have a broad network, but I need you to call them out right now. Who needs to be on the Bro Code Show?
Mike Constantino is one, and he's been a longtime friend of mine. And then Jason Smith, who's another chef that I actually talked to.
Okay.
Okay, you heard it right here on the Bro Code Show. One more time, Chef. Who do we need to contact?
Mike Constantino and Jason Smith.
Mike and Jason, right here.
Yeah.
We need you right here at Second Empire at Table Talks with the Bro Code. We'll be reaching out to you soon. Well, Chef, I'm curious. You know, we have talked about a lot. We're getting ready to wrap this thing up. Is there anything that you want to leave the people? Is there anything that we talked about that maybe we missed? That in 90 seconds or less, you just kind of want to wrap this thing up? Anything else you want to share?
It feels really good to sit here with you guys. I mean, it feels natural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, man. I'm sure the fellas feel the same way, man. We've had a great conversation. It's amazing, like, wow, time went by that fast. You had to remind me, right?
Yeah.
And we still haven't had ice cream. But nonetheless, we look forward to it. You know, we always end the show the same way, Chef, on a positive note. And tonight will be no different. So we want to thank those who are watching, all of our guests. If you haven't already, please go to Y4C TV on YouTube. And subscribe so that way when these conversations come out, you'll know, you'll be in the know. Go to our Instagram page at Bro Code Show, so that way you can keep in contact, not just with the bros and what we're doing, but the courageous conversations that we're having. So, Chef, we appreciate you once again. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for the hospitality right here at Second Empire.
Thank you.
For the Bro Code Table Talk. So, thank you again. We're going to close the show with a little bit of positivity. This was just for you, Chef. It says, a recipe has no soul. You, as the cook, must bring the soul to the recipe. It's your boy, Bro Troy, a.k.a. Mr. YM4C, better known as Coach TJ, and we are the Bro Code.